The Nasty Collective Podcast. Yeah, I said the Nasty Collective Podcast. What we talking about?
Good with you, ladies and gents of the world. Back at it with the Nasty Collective Podcast. I'm your host, Nasty, you know how it is. And today we got a special guest here, man. We got someone special, someone from out of town. We throwing it up, man. I bring you guys some lit ass guests, so strap in. We doing our thing with the man, the legend, the myth, C10.
What's up, bro?
How you doing, man?
So you said special one too many times. I feel like you're calling me.
Oh,
I was just kidding. What's up, man?
Look,
glad to be here, dude.
I'm gonna do it again.
No, I'm just telling you. You gotta keep that, bro.
All right, that's good. That works.
All
right, my bad. No. You crazy.
You can beep it. Just beep it, bro.
All right, but that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
But C10 in the fucking building, man. We don't aim to disappoint. That's for sure.
Yeah,
I'm glad you're here, bro. For real.
Yeah, they call me the Menace. They call me the Menace back in Omaha. Bro.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, bro.
The Menace. And speaking of Omaha, that's what you represent, right? That's
Yes,
what you're
sir.
representing out of today.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's where I created out of. That's where like my whole career has been. But I'm from Plattsmouth, small town,
Nice.
outside Omaha.
Yeah.
I moved out here in 2020. We kind of talked about it.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. But I lost my job during COVID. And like Nice Enough was really like starting to gain some traction pre-COVID, and we had like some big plans, to get through COVID. So I was like, I might as well make the jump, get out of the small town and get into the big city or whatever the fuck you want to call Omaha. I guess it's a big city compared to out here, but
right when you on the scale of Sioux City and shit, Omaha's definitely up there.
Right.
But yeah, there is a big difference between Omaha kind of lifestyle and Sioux City lifestyle. So, talking to you a little bit before the podcast and everything, it's cool to see a different perspective of how that works out there.
Right.
But we're talking a little bit about the beginning of C10 here. Yeah. So I want to indulge in that a little more. Okay. When growing up out here, what kind of environment did you grow up in, and what did that look like around you?
Oh, shit. All right, we're getting right into the deep shit.
Yeah, because I want to, because I feel like I said it before, where it's like, how you grew up, what your influences were, as you grew up, kind of make what kind of style music you're going to make, and what kind of flow, what kind of words that you're saying in the music, I want to touch up on it later on, but your EP, what's the name of it again?
The Inner Child EP.
The Inner Child. So 1st. I feel like even that, when we talk about that, that's going back a little bit to like the roots, the child of the roots. But bro. I want we'll save that for a little bit later. But right now, tell me a little bit about the environment C10 grew up in.
Oh, dude, fucking a mess is like that's the short version of it. But not to blow up my parents' spot, because I love my parents and shit's different now. But I grew up raised by addicts. My dad was a drinker. My mom was on the bubble and shit at a really young age. Bailed out. Hence me revisiting my childhood in a lot of my music. It's been a big theme, because it's that's where my trauma lies. And like you were saying, your upbringing, your environment shapes the music you create. And you really listen to Black Keys blues. That's my favorite shit. And I feel like I do hip hop, but my overall aesthetic falls into that bluesy, soulful kind of spot, because I grew up with a lot of just dark shit happening. And I was always a sad kid. In middle school, bro, I was the fucking annoying kid sitting at the top of the bleachers, just fucking sulking while everyone's playing basketball and shit.
Yeah.
So, and that translates, it really does translate into my music. I have more recently in my color series shit I did last year, I'm more positive and more just about making the music. But the core of what I do is sad shit. It's my journal, bro. That's what I always tell people is I don't make songs for people. I make songs for me. I don't know what I'm going through or how I'm processing it till I sit down and write a song, and then I listen back and look back at the lyrics. I'm like, oh shit, that's probably why I feel this way, because of this thing that I reference, But so I would say I grew up in a fucked up environment, which made me sad, and I didn't know what to do with it. And then I met a homie that made music, and I started making music just for the fuck of it. And then as I started taking it seriously, got into the sad shit. I think that's what most people that know me and my music is the sad shit is where that's where I box myself in. And the Inner Child EP it kind of, not to like jump ahead.
No, yeah,
but it kind of like just touches on why, you know, like that's the case, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I also seen you have it where you connect to Bojack Horsemen as well on the album, right?
Yeah.
Or is it an EP?
No, that's an album.
Is it an album?
Yeah, I dropped that in 2020. So my favorite.
What's the name of the album?
Bojack Horsemen. So like my real name is Clayton Newburn. And obviously like Bojack Horsemen. So it's like a combination of that. And, and I like Bojack Horsemen a lot because it's like, yeah, it's just an animated fucking show about anthropomorphic animal people. But it's like a lot of like the undertones are about like mental health and just like
some real shit.
Yeah, just like relatable shit. But it's like, it's also like a warning about fame and like pursuing fame. And I really like resonate with that message, like especially the message they do, because it's based in LA, right? So it's like all about like the inner workings of like the manipulation you don't see behind like your favorite movies and like entertainment. And so like I try to be conscientious of the warnings of that show, and that's why it resonated with me, because I really feel like this music shit's gonna work out for me one way or another. So yeah, that's why it ties in, but also like the sad shit, like going back to the core of what we're talking about. It's like the overtones of that show are just like depression and, you know, dealing with that kind of shit. And that's like a lot of what I rap about, you know, like, yeah. Like on my first project, like I was telling you, Peephole through Super 8, the cover to that is, that's what it's called, Fuck Change, Let Me Breathe First. Like, just being afraid of change. Like, yo, give me a second to fucking like sit in this and figure out whatever the fuck it is I'm going through. That was like the first concept I came up with, and that's just been kind of running with that ball since then.
Yeah, it's really nice to see you tap in with your kind of emotional side, the more spiritual side as well. One thing that kind of stands out from your message right now is your background story and stuff. One thing that stood out to me is almost like, I think of Jean-Michel Basquiat, one of my favorite artists. I got a fucking collar tag tatted on my face there. I think about some of the words that he said, and I said this before again on the podcast, but when he's painting, he's not thinking about the painting overall. He's thinking about each brushstroke and how he feels during that stroke of like his emotional state, you know? So he's kind of just letting the paintbrush go with what he's feeling and not more thinking, what am I going to create? It's more of, how am I feeling while I create this?
Right, yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah, like how is my emotion translating onto this canvas?
Yeah, and it's kind of how you were saying, like, when you're making a song, you're just kind of feeling it and you're going with it there, you know?
Yeah, like, dude, kind of like, people get taken aback, like, that want to collab with me, because they'll be like, oh, let's make a song, and they're like, what should it be about? And I'm like, let's just sit down and write and see what happens.
Yeah.
And I thought that's how everybody like wrote songs, because it's kind of just come naturally like that to me from the jump. Like I'm just like, whatever I write is what the song is. It's never been like, oh, let's make a party track, oh, let's make a sad track, oh, let's make a introspective banger. No, it's like it just kind of like flows out of me. I don't know. That's like one reason why I think this shit's gonna work, and that might be cocky to say on camera, but I really think it's gonna work because it's just come naturally to me. Like my newest single, Moving On, bro, I made that beat and wrote that song and recorded like an hour and a half type shit, you know. So
I feel like, as much as people say not to have like an ego in this industry, you almost have to as well, because at least to a certain extent, because you have to believe in yourself to a certain extent in order to make it, in order to make.
On the flip side, like bro, humility is the same thing. Like you have to be humble, but if you're too humble, you're like missing opportunities. Because like if someone's like, oh, you should do this, be like, no, I'm not good enough. Like you're fucking setting yourself up for failure. Just like if you're a cocky shithead who doesn't do good business because you think you're better than everybody, you're fucking yourself. So it's like
to give a shout out to Aaron the barber. I was talking to him the other day, and he was saying how he's gonna get back to the city, or he does events, you know, to get back to the city. And I was like, that's what's up that you're doing that. And he's like, well, I got to get back to the city that makes me win too, you know?
No, 100%, yeah.
So,
no, 100%.
That's always good.
Yeah, the homie Hakeem out of Lincoln does the same thing. Shouts out Corn Coast Company. He is like, I started out just doing like his own little barber thing. Not little barber thing. Like, it was legit, you know? I hate calling shit little.
Nah, I know what you mean, but it's so easy, right? It's like,
so
it just like rolls off the tongue right there.
100%. Yeah. But yeah, no, so I definitely relate to that. And I got people around me like Strawstow, nice enough, bro. Like, he could be making bags of money with like his like level of reach and exposure and what he's done, but it's always like, hey, his mind state is always like, how can I use this to build up Omaha, and not only Omaha, like Midwest and local music. And I respect the fuck out of that. And that's like, you know, he's done really well finding that balance you're talking about between fucking humility and fucking, you know, ego.
Yeah.
You know, so I look up to that. I'm blessed to have people like you, like your homie you were just talking about around me that like have that same mindset, because that's the only way you build is with community and giving back to the community that built you type shit. So.
Yeah. And that's a good avenue to jump into as well, with Nice Enough, because I feel like Nice Enough has a big part in your story.
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about like the history of you and Nice Enough?
Oh, yeah, bro. Fucking, I met Justin. I would call the core Nice Enough, not like they're the more important people, but the people that were there at the beginning, like Finch, Marquise is Dead, Jay Influential, Modest K, Strawstone, me, you know, Mike Fantastic. I met all of them like individually as I came into this scene. And I came into the scene at 16 as a merch guy for my homie Lucid, who was a rapper out of my hometown, Plattsmouth, and you know, he would come to shows. He would come to shows at like you know, just venues like the Lookout Lounge and like, you know, this place called Alchemy is where I got my start. But that's how I met Straw specifically, since we're talking about Nice Enough. And Straw was a part of this collective called Dab Squad, and like a rapper, kind of a DJ, you know, not like the worst human being I've ever met, but like pretty out of pocket. And yeah, I met him, and then I started picking up the mic and doing my own thing. And like I said, I met all the people that became the core of Nice Enough separately. And probably, I want to say like 2018, I was working at this place called DJ's Dugout, and I'm like on my smoke break, and Straw calls me up, and he's like, hey, I'm gonna start booking these artists.
Nice.
He's like, I really want you to be like an artist, like I only want you booking with me, like let me take over what you got going on. And I was just like, you know, I knew Straw, like I said, when he was a DJ, and so I was like hesitant, but he was like, nah dude, like we're doing this, like fucking hop on board. So I did. And we went on this tour called Mayflowers, hit like some small towns in Oklahoma, ended in Omaha. That was kind of like the origin. And then Straw it wasn't even Nice Enough then. It was before that was Aorta Hip Hop, and then that is kind of where it started to, after that tour is where he started to realize he could do his own thing and be less restricted on the hip hop side. Because this Aorta group that we did that tour through and that we originally started with, they were more like metal and bands and shit. So like Straw wanted to branch out their hip hop. Anyway, I realized he could do his own thing, and he did. And it just kind of snowballed from there, like from going like the diviest fucking venues you can imagine in front of 5 people to what it's doing now. Like we got 4 wins next weekend with headliners like King ISO, He Is Legend. Right. We got Lil Man J from, you know, coming out, fucking Lardy B, like just big names, Table of the Truth, bro. Like all these like super
great
so
names.
Yeah, so it's been a lot. It's been like a slow burn, bro, but it's been all been genuine. And I think the big thing that boosted us into like being taken seriously, because we were going active for a solid year before COVID. You know, I guess it wasn't like as Nice Enough, we weren't, but as a collective we were. And then COVID hit, and we just didn't stop. Like we found ways to keep bringing live music and entertainment. You know, I say we, but Straw did, and you know, and then he took off on the ISO's group therapy tour. You know, and that's like what really like made people go like, oh shit, like like shows are possible, this is possible, Straw's doing it. You know, it's just been like consistency since then. That's like the big piece of it. But it's like I keep saying like collective and stuff, but it's more like family, like straight up. Like I consider all those people I started with family. You know, so like that made it so it was easy to keep the vibes genuine and the movement active. And I don't really know where to go other than it's just so well know to what it is. Like if you don't know what Nice Enough is, you don't. But like the people that do see what it is. So like we came from like very humble, very very humble beginnings. And I'd say we're even still in the humble beginning stage, regardless of what's going on. You know. But yeah. So that's like kind of how I did just New Straw, like casually before I started making music, and then just got lucky that he took it seriously and wanted me to be involved. You know, it's a lot of it was like stars lining up, luck of the draw, all that good shit, you know?
Right.
So
a little bit of luck, a little bit of preparation.
Yep.
You know, a little bit of talent.
A lot of faith that it was going to work. You know, there was at one point, Straw we didn't know if venues were ever going to open again during COVID, and me and Straw started fucking mowing yards. Like that we thought that was going to become the new business venture, because we just didn't know. And then, you know, Straw luckily saw the lane to make it work during COVID, and we fucking attacked it.
Yeah, just always hustling, though.
You know, always, bro. It's a straight grind, and I keep saying it, but a lot of it is just on the back of Justin, dude. He's just a fucking workhorse and like a genuine, transparent, fucking human being. So like I'm just super blessed, you know, to be in a position I am with a dude like him, you know.
It's always good to be surrounded by people like that because they push you to be the best you can be.
Oh, for sure.
Being out here in this kind of industry, you tend to get in these artist blocks almost eventually, you know, and you try to like bring yourself out of that and just keep hustling. And I feel like everybody hits that you know, wall here and there. 100%. But going into the career, I want to talk about, you know, still talking about the beginning a little bit. The name C10. How did that become to be?
All right, bro. So it's like I wish there was more. I could tell the intricate version of the story, but really it's just like it's an abbreviation. My name's Clayton. C10, Clayton, C10. But I didn't know that Chevy had like a really popular collector's truck from like the 60s called the Chevy C10.
Wow.
But like why? Originally my rap name was Method because I grew up like hella sheltered, like small town parents. Like I grew up on country and rock and shit, so I didn't listen to hip hop. So I didn't know Method Man was like a super popular rapper from Wu-Tang. So when I did find that out, I was like, oh, I had to switch it up. First thing I could think of was Clay. I did CTN, like because that's my initials, is Clayton Thomas Newburn, and I was like, oh, it looks like C10, which could be abbreviation for Clayton. It's really not that deep. I wish it was.
No, that's cool.
But that's where it comes from. It's literally just a fucking abbreviation for my name. Yeah.
No, that's cool because, like, I mean, you always wonder, you know, like, how artists be getting their names. So it's just something.
Yeah, no,
I'd
for
be
sure.
asking out here.
No, it's a good question. Every time I've been asked that question, because I get asked like, "Where's C10 come from?" at shows and shit all the time. Like, it's just an abbreviation for my first name type shit.
You know, speaking on the industry as well, I wanted to ask you, what even made you pick up the mic to be rapping at it? You know, because like you were saying how you grew up on country and rock.
Yeah.
So what was it that was like, you know what, I'm going to pick up the mic and fucking rap my ass off?
Dude, so I grew up like super sheltered. Like my parents, I didn't have like money. Like my parents were like poor, but like in denial of their status in the world. And my grandparents are kind of well off. So I went to Catholic school, like preschool through 8th grade. And then my freshman year in high school, I reconnected with an old friend, Lucid, the rapper, and he just put me on like to just like the culture of hip hop and all this shit. Like, of course I was aware of hip hop and I listened to like radio shit, but I never dove into it. I dove into it like my freshman year, and then just like my senior year of high school, I was like, I don't know, I was set up to go to college, like that was like my plan, and then I started like snorting pills and doing acid and just rebelling. Yeah. So I was like, well, that's not going to work. Like, I'm not going to go get student loans just to drop out. So I made a song with him one day, and the first I made the song, and I just fell in love with the process of, like, writing and recording, like, sitting there in front of a fucking looping beat for 2 hours. And writing it just kind of went from there, and I remixed a Dizzy Wright song, and fucking, I just never put it back down, and then I put out, like, my first serious project, which was Fuck Change, Let Me Breathe First, like I was talking about earlier, and I was just kind of like snowballed into what it is, bro. It's just like, it was my journal. It was never like, oh, let me get plays and recognition. It was just like, this makes me feel good. I like this. It doesn't feel forced, so I'm gonna run with it, because I feel like I'm a very fast learner. So like at jobs, let's say, like if I go to a kitchen, literally doesn't matter where. I've worked in kitchens for so long, I can learn the entire process of the kitchen in like a week. And I get bored, and I get fucking complacent, and I get angry, and I get frustrated. And hip hop's one of the few things in my life, like writing songs. I'm just hip hop, just writing songs, where I've never got that like stagnant, complacent like feeling, you know. So I just haven't stopped. And I mean, that's not to say that like maybe one day I do feel that way and I just stop, but you know, so far so good. So I just keep fucking going, hoping for the best. Like at this point, obviously now I'm like trying to make it count and get plays and do shows that make sense and grow as an artist. But yeah, the Origins was a lot of just like, yeah, this makes me feel good and I enjoy it and I'm not bored. So,
no, that's always a good place where it can come from, you know?
Yeah.
You're not just trying to become a millionaire out of here. You're just trying to make some good ass music, man.
Yep, straight up.
Yeah. And speaking about the music, what kind of accomplishments do you feel like are your best accomplishments while in this game? You know, give me some some special moments that like really hit you where you're like, oh fuck, I'm doing this thing.
Damn, bro. I would say like the first big one was in 2022 when I got put like on the tour with Doobie. I got to go on the
Shout out.
Yeah, I got to go on tour with Doobie and Kasky, which was super fucking cool. Actually, I would take it back to there's this place called Vaudeville Muse, I think it was called, in Des Moines, and I was just there helping work a Kasky show. And one of the openers like dropped off, so I gotta go and perform like an open for Kasky like right before he went on, and I had a girl grab my dick on stage.
What the fuck?
Yeah, dude.
Holy
so I was
shit.
like, oh shit, like that was cool.
Yeah.
And then
you just let her hang on, or did you like?
Oh, I didn't know what to do. I was probably like 40 pounds heavier, like not really fucking confident in any part of myself. So I just kind of like ignored that it even happened and just kept trying.
Ignored the sexual song.
Yeah, just kept trying to do my thing, bro. And then, ironically, my second sexual assault, bro, was on this Kasky Doobie tour in Sioux Falls, bro. And there's just this bigger girl, like she bought a shirt and then like had me lean forward to talk to her, and then she just starts like literally like tongue fucking my cheek.
Fuck.
So I just like kind of sat there and like froze, bro. I didn't know what to do. So I've been sexually assaulted a few times. I'd call them both accomplishments.
Fuck, man. One hell of a tour though, for
Yeah,
sure.
no, so like opening for Kasky, that was super fucking cool. You know, he was a genuine dude, and yeah, but then it would be going on tour with Doobie. But like what really like locked it in for me on the show side of things was like I did that first round with Doobie on the back of like just have Straw being my guy and like putting me in that position. And then I got invited by Doobie's management to come back, like, when we booked them a year later, they're like, we want C10 to do shows. So that was, like, where I was like, okay, like, if I can get somebody that's working with an artist like Doobie that's really in the industry, like, interested enough in me to invite me back, then, like, maybe this can really count for something, you know? So that was when, like, I started to take the business side and the promotion side and, like real seriously, and it became deeper than just, like, the cathartic like release of songwriting, you know.
Right.
And then aside from that, like when Bojack Horsemen, my album broke 100,000 views, and then not even 6 months later broke 200,000 views, and then got put on playlists. You know, those are some other accomplishments where it's like holy shit, you know, like you know, like with those little things like that amplified can make this real, you know. So I think those would be like key point moments. The first time I opened for Kasky, and then touring with Doobie for the first time and getting invited back, and then breaking 200K streams on the album, on like an album based off my favorite TV show of all time. Like, Bojack Horsemen is like
top tier,
number one for me. Like of all the writing, the fucking concept, like all of it. Like the music selection, the voice actors, because I'm a nerd about directors and producers and like writing credits on shows and shit. And that show was like star-studded, bro. Like even like a background flamingo character is fucking an Emmy award-winning actor, you know, type shit. So
yeah,
I can wholeheartedly disagree with what you're saying and still respect you.
Right,
And,
that's
like,
the thing.
What you have to say.
Because you don't gotta hate everybody in the world, bro.
You don't gotta hate
the more you hate is
anybody, bro. That's the thing. Like there's no room for hate ever. Like why is it even there? Like
oh no, my shit demon time sometimes. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh, dude, don't get it twisted, bro. I grew
sure.
up wrestling. I grew up fighting. I grew up in a very angry environment. So I got that beast in me for sure. But
you just gotta like calm the Hulk.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Live through love, like, and like there's like a quote that's like, a dangerous man is not like an aggressive angry man. It's an aggressive angry man who has it under total control. That's a real dangerous person. That's a dangerous man. Like, the person I'm least afraid of is the big, like, oh fuck you, man, I'll beat the shit out of you, like big dudes,
the
like,
loudest fool in the room.
Yeah, dude, because I'm 6'5", 270 pounds. Like I can hold it down. You know what I mean? I grew up wrestling. Like I have some boxing, jiu-jitsu experience. Like I can fucking tie someone in a knot and break a jaw. But, like, I know that. So why do I need to make anybody else know that? Like, people are going to catch that vibe just off, like who I am, bro. Because I know that's who I am. Yeah, like, I don't need to threaten anybody.
I mean, if you look like me, bro, you try to, you know, I try to use manners as much as I can. I try to be respectful as much as I can because I don't want the stigma on me, you know? And if even though there's a stigma on me, I want to, like, go beyond
What do you mean, like face tattoos and like being brown type shit?
I'm brown.
Yeah.
I got face tattoos.
Sure,
usually I got my cornrows on.
Yeah.
But
I try to be sensitive to that too, bro.
I got my dickies on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It gets to that point, but you know, I respect it because to be honest with you, like I'd rather fools be scared of me than to be coming up to me and loving me and shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'd rather fools keep distance because I know like love gets you hurt as well.
Yeah.
I feel like I like to keep a small circle of people that I consider real as fuck.
Right.
Because I put real as fuck over being respectful.
Right.
Because if I don't think that you're real and I got to come at you sideways telling you you're fake as fuck, I'm just going to do it. And it's not going to be respectful. Right. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to be fake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's certain things you just don't say, but I just feel like me personally, I'm the type of guy that in Spanish we say, stay trucha. You got to stay, you can't be comfortable out here.
Yeah.
I just feel like we're on survival mode, bro, to be real with you. As weird as that sounds, when I leave the house, I'm on survival mode.
Yeah. And I see the one reason why I may not be able to relate to that is because I'm a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white person, bro. So I don't got to walk around with that big chest aggression. Just like, I don't face that racism and that, like, that stigma that you were talking about. And I'm aware of that, and I try to remain aware of that, especially as a guest in fucking hip-hop, you know what I mean? Like,
hip-hop.
I'm never going to be like, oh, well, my perception trumps yours to anybody because I live a different life. Like, I could walk into any store in any neighborhood anywhere in the country and like people aren't even gonna look at me twice, you know what I mean?
What's the weird thing is when I'm in a grocery store, this is fucking weird, I don't know why, and I swear to God I don't know why. And I don't want to swear to God, but I just don't know why. But when I'm in a grocery store and I'm looking for an item, I feel like, oh, they think I'm stealing. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, my hands up, my pockets out and shit. I'm just like.
The only reason I ever felt like that is because I used to steal all the time. So
they weren't wrong at a certain point. I'm just kidding.
No,
but
for sure.
It was. I'm just like.
No, I get
I move different. You know what I mean? I try to move right.
To just kind of be the devil's advocate to what you're saying about like, you know, like you value realness over respect. It's like I feel like I just feel like I don't know, this is like kind of cliche to say, but there is just so much hate in the world. Like, why am I going to add to it? Like, I stand on 10 toes. Like, anybody that knows me knows when if I feel disrespect, bro, like, I'm going to say something. Like, my girlfriend's always, like, hushing me in public when I got people staring at me. Because I may be white, blonde hair, blue eyes, but I'm fucking 6'5", 270, bro. So, like, if I'm walking down the street at night and there's a girl, like, she's going to be worried about what I'm doing, you know. All to, like, the same degree. I don't face that all the time, but I do have, like, my situations, you know. So, I definitely understand and agree with like fucking stand on 10 toes, like don't take disrespect, like for sure. But
I will
like,
say
I baseline. I feel like I just baseline at like I'm not gonna go out of my way to be like a big man because I'm a big presence. Like I have a big personality. I'm a big bodied person. You know what I mean? So and I want people to be comfortable, dude. Like I've been. Uncomfortable. I've been put in situations where I've had to be in that survival mode. Like for a long time, like I was known as a fucking asshole. Like I was disrespectful. I was in the same mind state. And not to say that you're wrong or anything to feel that way, but I'm like exhausted. I just want peace, bro. And I feel like peace and love are like peace can only go hand in hand with love. So like if I'm walking around with like animosity as my baseline and my like frontal lobe response to shit, then I'm just like burning myself out when I could be like growing in other places and like just you're an ignorant idiot. Have a great day. Like I hope whatever you're going through gets better, and then I'm gonna go focus on what the fuck is important to me rather than like, oh fuck that idiot walking around thinking, and then I take it with me when I leave. You know what I mean?
I do want to say to respond to that as well is. I'm not out here trying to spread hate or nothing like that. No, I'm not trying to like beat nobody up or nothing like that.
You're a great dude.
Only thing
he's a great dude.
Look, the only thing I was saying is like me personally, I'll just be real with you, bro. I don't trust anybody, bro.
No, for sure.
Like when I'm walking around and I'm downtown or I'm just chilling, bro. Like to be real with you. When people know me more than I know them, if I have a little bit of fear in me, because
trust and
you never know,
is to be earned.
And I walk with the Lord. They say no weapon forged against me shall prosper, and I walk with that, and I carry that shit on my chest. Yes, but I also know that this world is full of evil, and I cannot be oblivious to evil because if I don't move correctly, like what the fuck am I doing? I'm not gonna go get drunk by myself out downtown and just hope that I'm okay. You know what I mean? 100%. Like. I just try to move correctly. I try to move with the right people. There's certain jobs I have turned down a good amount of money because I just didn't trust the person. Yeah,
as you know should. What I mean? As you should. You should have your guard.
When I say put realness over love, I say that as in because there's certain times when love will get you fucked up. When you'll be chasing the next and you'll get fucked up. You know what I mean? Like there's certain things you just gotta let go and be real as fuck and just say, hey, I'm gonna take it on the chin. You know what I mean? There's just certain things like that. And I feel like when you move correctly, when you move real, that's when you gain my respect. And a lot of the times, I will tell you, a lot of people don't think I'm the nicest guy because I'm moving like that.
Right.
So there's just certain things, certain like with the guard up, like I have like a bitch face type of shit, like resting bitch face, you know. So when I move out here, I acknowledge that. And how you say you're 6'5", like I'm 6 foot. So it's like I have a little bit of that too, where I'm just like I want to be gentle.
He's like 5'11".
Like 5'11". Hey, they say that, right? They say when you say you're 6 foot, you're 5'11".
I'm just I have such a height advantage, bro. Whenever people bring up that,
hell yeah.
I'm like,
now you're a tall fool, bro. You're a tall fool. You can tell on the camera too.
Yeah.
But no, and I respect that what you're saying with moving with love.
Yeah,
bro. I listen to Bob Marley so much.
There's a balance to it.
I just feel like you're so right, because there's so much love that needs to be spread out here, and even with the Sioux City community, I would say recently it's been a lot more tapped in unity. Yeah. And I feel like that's what's getting us to be noticed a little more. That's how because everyone is showing so much love.
Well, and like to bring it back to like the music on top of like everything we're talking about, that's literally like the formula that made Nice Enough work. It's just love. Like like I can't tell you how many times I've like DM'd Straw with like a screenshot of some weird shit, and he's like, bro. He's like, we got too much going on to be worried about that. Like, just stay based, treat people decent, and keep moving the way we move. You know? And
I will say, when I've seen him respond to things online, it's him being like, I just want y'all to know I'm not trying to fuck anybody over.
No, he's so transparent. You know what I mean? That's like, dude, his personal MO is transparency, bro.
Yeah,
like, all the time, bro. Like, anytime there's any big thing, like there's not going to be any, like, house of cards that falls down. Like, there's not going to be any scandal shit. Because Straw's going to be the first one to go post about it and get ahead of it. Because 99.99% of the time, there is no reason to hide it. Yeah. Even no matter how bad it looks. Because it's all about where your heart lies. And that motherfucker's heart lies in, like, the biggest loving place. But, like I was saying, like, there's a balance to, like, what you're saying and what I'm saying. Like, I'm sure it's, like, that walking with that guard up and walking with love is what one and the same thing, bro. Like, that's the thing. It's like two sides of the same coin. Not to keep fucking saying that, but it really is. Like,
and that middle ground that you're talking about, that's what I'm searching for.
Yeah, that's where peace. That's where peace is on, like, in anything, bro. In politics and religion, and the middle ground is like that's where understanding and peace like live, and that's where I want to live. So it's like, I'll throw hands, bro. Like, if I feel, I will defend myself. Like, I'm also a wild boy. I'm also like an aggressive motherfucker, but I'm like
allegedly.
Now I'm thinking about do I gotta crash out and like fuck this?
Nah. We're peaceful.
But no, it's just all about finding that balance.
The sun's getting low. You know where that's from?
No, I don't. That's
what they say to the Hulk to calm down. Oh, the sun's getting low. The sun's getting really low.
Oh yeah,
so he doesn't turn into the Hulk and shit.
Yeah, I don't know, bro.
Man,
he lost me on that nerd shit.
Yeah, bro, I'm on that nerd shit. Just kidding, bro. Nah, bro, Avengers. Oh my god.
So I kind of nerd out about that stuff. Spider-Man's like why. That's why I like really nerd out for talking Marvel and shit. Yeah, I wanted to be Spider-Man when I was little, to the point where like it was like a really weird obsession.
You just try to figure out how to fucking shoot webs.
I did, bro. It was bad. I would like sit there and fucking all the time, like in church and school and shit. Like, get me the fuck out of here, bro.
Just checking if it worked?
Yeah, just one day, bro. Tobey Maguire is gonna be.
Oh man. Getting back to the music a little bit. Because bro, I fuck with you being here, because that's what makes a podcast, like being able to talk about different things, being able to be a little more open about certain subjects, because I feel like when people listen to this, when people watch this, it's more refreshing to not say the same fucking thing that everyone has been saying.
So how'd you get into music?
Exactly, you know?
What's your favorite top
But I will
artists?
say that, like, you having that shit on record and everything is great for when you're older. Because then you're going to look back and be like, what did I say when, you know, my first
One thing I think about all the time, like, you just kind of spark a thought is, like, even if this shit doesn't work out, bro, like, my kids are going to be impressed one day, like, with what I did. So, like, that's one thing I hold on to also, is, like, someone out there is proud of me, and someone's going to be proud of me in the future, and they're going to, like, someone's going to stumble across my shit. One thing I like to think about all the time is, like, I was listening to, like, Odd Future and Tyler, the Creator. Ooh, like, nice. They were, like, still low-key, like, Bastard, and that shit came out when I was in, like, 8th grade my freshman year, and this is, like, when Tyler was talking about, like, raping bitches and shit, you know, and now he's, like, you know, who he is. So it's like, I think about, like, there could be a kid sitting in fucking his Spanish class or what English class or whatever his freshman year of high school, bumping my shit right now, fucking trying to tell everybody about me, no one's listening to it, so I hold on to like that kind of shit like heavy, bro. It's like just like the little shit, like of course I would love to fucking, you know, sell out the Staples Center and perform at Madison Square Garden, but like that little shit is what really like keeps me going. That's the shit I think about, is like, how am I going to connect to somebody on a real level? You know what I mean? Like through this. I
have a good friend, Kaylee. Shout out Kaylee, a school homie.
Shouts out.
One thing that she was saying when I interviewed her before is, you gotta find joy in the little things.
Oh yeah,
for sure. You know,
that's what it's literally all about, bro. Because
that's great that you say that.
At the end of the day, the big thing is like, you know, I haven't done like the craziest shit, but like, I've been on a couple tours with some artists that are like significant in the industry, and it's like that shit flies by, it's gone. But that little shit that's there every day, the little, like the shit that gets you through every day is the little shit. Like whether or not it's what you focus on, you know, that's like the driving force for everybody. So that's why. One quote from Bojack Horsemen is, cliches are cliches for a reason. And like that focus on the little shit is like one of the biggest cliches. And it's a reason. Like I lean into cliches, you know, because of that saying, you know. And you find so much truth in like the most commonly said shit. Because everyone wants to roll their eyes at like, oh, keep a positive attitude. Oh, positive thoughts equal positive life. Like that, you know, that kind of bullshit where you just want to be like, man, fuck that stupid shit. Like I'm going to do what I want to do. But that's like really, you know, those are good bits of wisdom, bro.
Yeah, it's good to manifest that, shit. You know, say that to yourself in the mirror a lot, you know.
Affirmations, bro.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Coming back to the EP that we were talking about a little earlier in the podcast, I want to go ahead and touch base on that as well. The Inner Child, the EP. Go ahead and tell me a little bit about, you know, August 1st is when it's going to drop. So tell me about the date itself and, you know, what this project means to you.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'll start with the date. It was just like a rip the Band-Aid off, put this shit out. Like I haven't dropped anything all year, and last year I was so active. So that's like why I picked the date, because I know if I don't just pick one, especially one soon, I'm just not gonna drop it.
Yeah.
So that's the date. The day really. Normally I like to drop on my birthday just because it's like a reason to guilt trip people into streaming my shit.
Yeah.
That's a marketing strategy for you guys. Guilt trip people. But no, the EP it's called the Inner Child EP because a lot of how I like when I grew up going through like puberty and shit, I've always been like a very emotional motherfucker, like just I am, and I shut that part of myself down because like we were talking about, like people take advantage of kindness and of openness, and they perceive you as weak, you know, because like people, I feel like people generally view strength as like your defense mechanisms is your strength, like how well do you carry yourself, blah blah blah. So I would like shut myself down in fear of like what other people were gonna think, and that I feel like that was abuse to my inner child to do that. So with this project, I call it the Inner Child EP. I don't really revisit my childhood in the way people might think. It's more like me like opening, like taking the lid off of the fucking container that I've kept him in, you know, like. So I get in there talking about just how I was as a kid, is how I open it up, and then I get into in the next track I get into, it's called Sick of Being Sorry, where I'm just like, I'm sick of feeling like shit, like I'm sick of feeling like I need to apologize, like, about it, and part of it's about a relationship, just in general, like I need to just shamelessly be me, which is something I feel like I owe to my inner child. And then like I said, I went to Catholic school my whole life, and then I went to public school and like went atheist and all this shit, and I'm like, I've come back in. It's been like a 4-year journey, but I've officially accepted Jesus Christ and God, and I read the Bible, and you know, I'm wholeheartedly into that being the truth. And so then the third track, and I've suppressed that part of myself, like my inner child, people thought I was going to be a priest when I was a kid because of how into it I was. So that's another like lid that I'm popping off, and I'm letting my inner child out. And then the last one is my single that came out. It's called Moving On, and that's just like, it's a more upbeat, like poppy sounding song, because it's like I want the message all, because it's like it's very serious kind of tone, and then I want to end with that because I feel like I owe it to my inner child to just cut loose. Like when I do that song live, it's the only song you see me. I'm jumping around the fucking stage like I don't care, you know. So that's where like the concept comes from. It's like not as much going back to who I was as a kid and what I went through, more so like how I as an adult am like healing my inner child. Yeah, you know what I mean?
No, that's a great concept too, and it's a great moment in your life. I feel like letting that part of your life rest and letting yourself grow from it, letting yourself actually like blossom, you know?
I'm trying to close a chapter so I can start a new one type shit, you know.
They say when you're wondering, fuck, why is everything like changing in my life? Why am I losing so much in my life? Well, you have to lose the old you to become the new you.
100%.
You know,
you have to let go.
As fucked up as it must hurt, yourself is trying to become a new person.
Yep. And one thing you find across like any philosophical argument, whether it be like in religion or just psychology, is like letting go is like it's the hardest thing, but it's necessary. Like it's like that quote where it's like the greatest feelings lie on the other side of your biggest fear. So and like letting go of and like accepting change is like the most terrifying thing for a person in general. Like and no matter who the fuck you are, it's scary as fuck.
Yeah.
To embrace change, you know what I mean? So
I'm glad you said that because I'm gonna get on my nerdy shit right now. Star Wars, man.
Yeah.
Anakin talks to Yoda.
I see you.
Hell yeah, of course. Wouldn't have a background like this if I were on some nerdy shit. But Star Wars, Anakin talks to Yoda, and he basically tells him, I have knowledge that something bad is gonna happen, and I can't stop it.
Yeah.
I have so much power, but I can't stop it. What do I do? And he goes, you know what you should do? Learn to let go.
Yeah.
And he's like, what the fuck? What kind of answer is that? You're telling me to just let it go? You're tripping. But when he starts not to let it go, he goes searching for power. Yeah. And he tries to, he's like, there's this power that can make me make those decisions for myself.
Yeah.
Alter life itself.
Yeah.
So he goes reaching for this power, and what does it bring? Nothing but darkness.
Gets fucked up.
It's nothing but darkness, and darkness doesn't even offer that trait that he was trying to acquire.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's like you're seeking for this answer that you're never gonna find, and you're gonna be at a pit of darkness trying to find this or chasing this idea that will never be again.
Yeah.
Instead, what you really need to do is just let go. But that's the hardest thing I will say in human history is like
don't let go. You're gonna find yourself fucking limbless on a fucking planet made out of lava until somebody finds you and slaps a respirator in your chest.
Yeah. No.
I know a little bit about Star Wars.
So it's like for real. I just feel like but no, I just feel like for real. Like
I agree 100%.
That shit hit when you just said it because like I was like. That's all Star Wars, bro. You know what I mean? That's basically the whole thing right there.
But that's what I'm saying. That's like like if you really look into the philosophy of anything with meaning, that's Buddhism, Christianity, whatever. You let go and let God, like all that shit, bro. Like, you know, it's all about letting go and accepting what is and living for now. You know, like going back to this ties it all back into the whole cliches for a reason. Like live and let live. You let go, you find peace. Like that, you find that in everything because it's the truth. And it's crazy, like how. When the truth is right in front of us, we just choose to fucking reject it, and our ego takes over, and we're like, nah, like I'm gonna do it my way. And then in the end, you learn the lesson, and usually it's too late for most people. And I'm just not trying to be one of those motherfuckers that learns it too late. You know?
Yeah,
that's like my big thing. I've done a lot of LSD. I've eaten a lot of shrooms. Like I've sought fucking purpose, and at the bottom of every search, I find that like there is no answer other than live in the moment, like fucking accept things for what they are. Like, you know, my favorite prayer is Lord, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. That's like my favorite prayer of all time, you know what I mean? Because it's just like it embodies that like whole concept that we were just talking about, you know? So I had a talking point right now, but that last quote right there hit me hard. So that shit, you know, he's crying. Tears under coming out the glasses.
But no, I feel like that is a lot of wisdom, and that's great that you bring that to the podcast because I feel like that's gonna hit a lot of people nicely. Where I hope so, bro. Where you know people need to hear that message.
Yeah, it comes from the heart, bro. Saying it's not no manufactured like, oh, let me say this for the pod type shit. That's right. That's like really where I try my best to reside mentally. I'm a fucking person, so of course I slip into ego, I slip into despair, and you know all the human emotions, like the fucking plethora that we have, you know, on the table ready for us at all times. But that's where I try to baseline, you know, it's like live in the moment, just fucking let go, accept what you can't change, like change what you can, you know, type shit. Yeah, and I was gonna ask you for like the last bit of advice that you would give people, but I feel like that was just so perfect. Yeah, you know, to be honest, because that to sum it up, that's kind of what, you know. No, straight up. I mean, it would just be like a loop to answer that question. It would just be everything I just said. You know?
So to end off the podcast, to end us off right here, go ahead and let the people know where they can reach you at, and a little bit about like you as an artist. Just wrap it all up, man. Just give the people a last little speech on following C10, man.
Yeah, well, I made it real easy intentionally. Literally everything from Facebook to Snapchat to Instagram to my email to my gamer tag is C10 the Rapper, all one word. So, if you ever are looking for some advice, I can't promise that I'm fucking gonna be your guru, but I can try my best to help guide you through anything. Or if you just want to check out what I have going on, C10 the Rapper on everything.
Do you do features?
I do features, and I don't have like a set price, and it's not because I don't feel like I'm worth anything. I know my worth, but it's like I'd rather just create.
You're trying to work.
Yeah, exactly. Like if I'm ever signed, of course, motherfuckers better have the bag ready. Yeah. But right now, dude, I'm just, if the vibe is there. But the thing on the flip side is like, if the vibe's not there, I'm not gonna create with you, because like I said earlier, this is my journal. And I'm gonna write, but I don't force concepts. I don't force anything, and that might be my downfall one day, but that's just what it is. So, and then we said to wrap up like what I am as an artist. I'm fucking dope as shit. I don't know, man.
But I want to say something, because you are pretty dope as shit, bro. I ain't gonna lie, especially when it comes to the rap game too. As far as like the bars, like. You have bars, bro. Like, you're not just a melodic singer or like a rock artist. You know, when it comes to hip hop and rap, bro, you got bars.
Thanks, bro.
You know what I mean? We've heard the bars. So just to put it out, because I'm a fool that loves bars, bro. It's just what it is. So melodic shit, I love that shit too. R&B, Yeah. But damn, there's something about someone that can, when you can just fucking rap your head off.
Yeah, bro. And the thing, I got a little bit of everything. I got shit for everybody. The deeper you dive into my stuff, the more you're gonna be like, what the fuck kind of artist is he? Because I just got a little bit. I got the sad shit. I got the poppy shit. I got the that song we did the mic drop for on the Nasty Collective Instagram. That's like one of my more like rapidy rap. Like, I'm just gonna flex what I can do with bars type song. Yeah, a little bit of everything, bro. It's hard. I don't like to pin myself down, because, like I said, the shit's my journal. So who I am as a person at the moment, my music is gonna reflect that 10 times out of 10. Because like I said, I really don't force shit. I know a lot of people say it, but I really don't. Oh, but I want to throw this in there too. If you need beats, hit me up. Cleeton Norman is my alias, but I make a lot of my own beats. So if you fuck with what you're getting on my music, if I can reach out, give me a tight beat and some references, and we'll fucking get some work in, I can crank out a beat pretty quick too. Yeah. So.
And, to end it off here, I appreciate everybody watching, man. If you're an artist, just keep creating. That's all we can really say. And I hope everything works out for everybody out here, man. But
I appreciate you fucking
shit, man. I appreciate you, man.
Out here installing garage doors.
Motherfuckers out here on the Nasty Collective podcast from Omaha. Sheesh. Be out here, man. Sure. But with that being said, man, I appreciate y'all watching and viewing this shit. You know how we do another bomb ass episode with the Nasty Collective podcast, man. And we out, y'all, man. Doses.
Peace.